Okay.
Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode. So episode 2 of the Breaking Boundaries podcast. So obviously, again, you've got me, Hannah, and we've got Los.
Hello.
Today we haven't got a completely strict topic. We're just going to go through a couple of questions that we got sent over. But obviously, the big topic of discussion today is going to be gyms reopening, what we've kind of been through, any changes to our training, as a lot of people will be quite nervous going into this week, or maybe have had very mixed emotions even going into this week. So why don't we have like a little update on you? Like, what have you been up to this week? What's your training? Like, your videos that you were posting this week have been fucking incredible. Like those straight leg deadlifts, like you're pressing like 24s, right?
Yeah. Oh, honestly, don't my pressing's a bit of a mess, you know.
What?
Like this, right? So I'm obviously happy with how my training's like going in general, and it's so nice to be back in the gym and actually to be able to like share stuff as well. Because I've obviously not shared like any of my training in such a long time, basically like all season. So it's cool to be able to share things, but I think I have been getting a little bit anxious with training, like just a bit. And I have days where like training's either really good or like I'm on an off day. And pressing is particularly one of those things that I get a proper mental barrier with. So like I pressed the 24s on high incline, so I was really happy with that. But I really, really wanted the 26s on low incline this week. They were there, and I did them, you know, like a couple of weeks ago, and I got 9, but they were just like a shit
a bit like unstable,
a bit like I'm not bothered about like half pressing and like getting like the 26s up and just half pressing them for a good set, because it was the point. So I have obviously had to like scale things back a bit, and I was really annoyed because I flicked up the 26s this week and I was like, oof.
You do know straight away as soon as they're up. It's kind of like I'm exactly the same with pressing. For me, I was stuck on fucking 17s but I'd say years, mate. It took me so long to be able to. You got to think like of how long I am, you know, like there's a far distance. I feel like we're in like, you know, what is it when you go to the cinema and you have like not 4D when careful. So pressing for me, it can be exactly the same, very on or off,
especially with dumbbells. Like, it's the thing gets me as well, it's flicking them up. Like I can't. I'm going to stop saying I can't, because I actually get really told off for saying that I can't do something. It's not that I can't, it's that I struggle.
Yeah, you struggle too. But I mean, you train with AJ like every session, right? Other than if he's so like at least you do have someone to help. Does he help you get them up?
Yeah, he's trying to stop helping me though, because the thing is as well, I kind of agree with him on this. It's that if I can't get them up myself, if I can't get them into that position and then press them, I'm not strong enough to take them for a good set.
See, that's the one good thing, like I would say about, because obviously I do train on my own majority of the time, and I love that for me, which is something that we'll probably come across. We'll do an episode on training partners, training together, training on your own, etc. So for me, that is something that I've always massively struggled with, that initial flick up to get ready. Like, and it does, I feel like if someone was there to help me get that up, I'd probably get fucking 3-4 more reps. But
it's the confidence of it. And this is the thing, like if I'm going into a set, if I'm pressing and I'm thinking, oh yeah, I feel really strong today, and I just tell myself strong, like I have to tell myself like positive reinforcements before doing a set. I feel great. But if like I just can't focus, and I think being in a gym and having loads of people around me, it has thrown off my confidence, my focus a little bit, because if there's too much going on, I just feel anxious, and like I hate that feeling of like I can feel my heart beating and I can't just relax. And I just don't like that. It doesn't help me focus, and it doesn't really help me train, to be honest.
Yeah, I think we do train quite similarly to a degree of like, I do I'll make a noise every now and then, like if I need to, right?
Yeah,
But for me to get into a set, I do have to like really fucking focus. Like if someone starts talking to me at the beginning, I will not hear you.
Yeah.
Like I just won't even kind of register that you're there. And I do get very much into my set. And I mean, I posted my leg videos on my story last night, and my friend was like, "Let's fucking go there." So, and I was like, "Yeah, I have to do the same. I have to be like, right, yes." Like if I go into a set thinking, "Oh, maybe," then I'm not going to do it. But you have to go into
thing.
Yeah, you have to go into that set knowing that you've got this, or like knowing that you've got one, just one rep.
You've got something there. Yeah, but like otherwise, training's been all right. Obviously, like you said, we've put stiff legs in, and they feel so good now as well, because I'd been deadlifting for ages.
They're taxing, it.
Yeah, so when we started off with my split, I was doing this like back, like when we started my off season, I was doing like pushing arms, pull, rest, pushing arms, legs, rest, instead of like push, pull, rest, legs, rest. And I was deadlifting every pull day, and so that was like every five days or 4 days, whatever it was. And honestly, I was just struggling so much with it. I just could not progress.
I was going to say, is it more like that mental struggle? Because obviously every time I go into an exercise, I think like I want to progress from the last time I did that exercise. So trying to progress on one exercise every 5 days, that's a bit like...
like the anxiety before that. I mean, I talk about getting anxious, but that was massive. And it was like every week, if I messed it up, I was like, I need to get it right next week. And so I kind of like stalled.
More pressure.
Stalled with those. And then we put in RDLs, which I do like RDLs, but I know it sounds really weird, but I've got really long arms. So I kind of struggle like at the bottom and like staying tight. So that's why we put in the stiff legs. And the stiff legs almost feel like how an RDL should feel to me because of how long my arms are. But I'm really liking them at the moment, and I just want like a crazy posterior chain. So
I think me and AJ spoke before, like I think his nickname should be like posterior chain professor. So.
Yeah, I know.
So you'll definitely be working on that while you're with him. So it's all good.
How's your training been anyway? It's been good.
Well, obviously for me, it's been going back into a gym. So it's been that first session, that Monday.
Is that when you trained?
Yeah. And so Kuba wanted me to go into my first few sessions. We were going to titrate them as we go, but he wanted my first rotation at least to be one working set. And I finished my push session. Because the last time I was in the gym, I was a stone lighter.
Jeez. That was when you finished your mini cut, wasn't it?
Yeah. So if people don't know stone, I was like 7 kilo or something lighter. So in my head, I was like, well, Hannah, if you fucking can't press and do the same weight on these exercises when you're a stone heavier, you're a fucking dickhead, mate. That's what, and that was a really wrong mindset to go into the session with, because I just almost set myself up to be massively disappointed. And obviously you got to think like the massive hype waiting to go to that gym, because I was working the day as well. So I'd been watching everyone's stories. I'd been like sitting there like...
I remember your stories on Instagram. You were like, point of view at work, waiting to go to the gym. I was like, oh.
I was so excited, but I think obviously all those emotions. It was a very disappointing session, to say the least.
It's just the pressure and what you're expecting. And I was kind of similar, you know, because I'm also like a lot heavier than I was the last time I was there, and some of my numbers were like less, and I was literally like, are you actually joking?
Are you having a
I've just gained like 10 kilos.
For what? And to be honest though, then I had like, so the session was done because it was one working set. The session was done in like 45 minutes, which again made me feel like fucking shit. I messaged Cuba straight away, like, this one working set life is not for me. Like, not happening. And he replied, and he was like, no, like it needed to be done. And looking back, it definitely did need to be done. But I think panicked thinking like that was going to be one working set for a few weeks, and I just didn't enjoy it. Like, my head just was fucked that day, to be honest with you. I got home and I was just like, do I not enjoy gym?
I think you can think that after a bad session though as well, can't you?
Yeah. But then I was like, right, well, I've got legs tomorrow. Like, this is going to be a different ball game, because obviously push in my bedroom, I was having good sessions. Legs, not so much. Like, them fucking foam roller hack squats can actually suck a toe. Like, I will never
for the most at home. That's the thing though, isn't it?
Yeah. So legs I was extremely excited for. Again, went in with one working set, and I am so glad that I did. Like, the next day, I don't get massive DOMs. Like, for me, even after this week, yes, I'm like, oh yeah, I've trained. Like, I have trained, but I'm not one of these people that walks around and they can't sit on the toilet and stuff. Well, I like, to an extent, but yeah, like at the end of the day, like at the end of the day, if you can't recover from it, then like, what's the fucking point? Like, you're just gonna then ruin your few sessions to come, you know. But anyway, but after that session, getting under a leg press,
amazing.
That was a different story. So that, I was very, very thankful that it was like one working set. Then obviously I came up to Ultra Flex on Friday, which was so good, because it's another good environment to be in. Like, I am extremely lucky to the gym that I'm in at the minute is called Foundry Dudley, and it's got a good vibe. Like, okay, not all the time, but there's very like-minded people there. You're not like necessarily judged for what you're doing. You know, I video all my exercises. Like, no one really says anything.
Feel comfortable there,
yeah, exactly. So at Ultraflex, met up with Danny to train Paul, and then obviously did a bit of posing with you guys.
This was, you know what's so funny as well, I went down to see Hannah at Ultraflex, and it was the first time I've actually met her in person.
What's well funny though, it didn't even feel like that though, did it?
No, well, that's because like we've basically been friends like on Instagram friends for ages, and like we've always voice noted and talked to each other, so it just feels the same. It's just that I've not seen you.
Yeah, well, it was because we spoke before Team Cuba meetup, which was like July, August or something, because you had your show. So we've been speaking for ages. But you know what? That Friday for me just kind of, it just felt, even if I'd had the worst session in the world, it just felt so right to like be there. Like, it made me just realize like the incredible people that are in this community. Like,
it's so nice. I love stuff like that. Like days like that, when I come to the gym and I meet up with like other people, we do posing and stuff, it just makes me realize how grateful I am for this and for this community. And because the bodybuilding mindset that we all have is so specific, and when you meet other people and you can connect with that, it's pretty special, to be honest.
Definitely. Like, what was really nice, obviously Danny's under Cuba as well, so our training, it was like, you know, exactly the same in terms of we knew when to take that rep or when to leave it there, and when to push each other, like shouting at each other in the middle of the gym. Like, it was such a good session. And then obviously Cuba had a look over. Oh yeah, I guess a bit of news for the podcast peoples. So I'm actually now doing an 18-week prep instead of 21 weeks. And that's just because my body composition at the minute is all good, and Cuba feels that he'll be able to like push me hard if necessary, and we'll be able to bring in the condition within that period of time. And that'll allow me as well to have a bit more time in the gym, still in a surplus, still kind of hammering things, which I'm really grateful for, to be honest. I think I need that time to just settle back into the new routine, because else I was going to be like, what?
A shock, you know, if you then suddenly have to go to prep, and it's nice for you to have a bit of time to settle in.
Yeah.
Especially because things are just a bit crazy at the minute as well. Like you said, like today and stuff, the past few days, routine's been a bit all over the place. So
yeah, so it's been my birthday this weekend. So yeah, it has been a bit of a topsy-turvy routine wise, but I mean, still now my training and stuff. I actually would say yesterday's leg session was probably the best in my life.
That's mint.
Which was really nice, like especially because the day itself, I was meant to train up in Leeds, but the day itself, yeah. So Strength Pro Gym, Emma Hyman owns it.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
So there was a little event Fitex held.
Yeah, there was, wasn't there?
Yeah. So I went along to that, but the day just didn't go to plan. It's just that in my head I was like, right, well, I'll pose and then we'll train there after, but I didn't end up posing until like quite late, and we were like, well, we've got a 2-hour drive home, so we're just going to train at home. So we got to the gym about 6, which for me, I train straight after work usually, like so 4:30, 5, and even legs after work I'm a bit like, God, okay, because I don't have a pre at that time. I never would. So it's kind of like a suck it up, let's fucking just focus.
You never had a pre before training?
Not on weekdays, because I can't that late. I just would die. But I just wouldn't sleep, because I'm in bed by like half.
Yeah, you can't have caffeine that late. No way.
So, but weekends for me, training, I absolutely love to train about like midday, like 12. I'll get 2 meals in like before, and then I train about then. So that's like my favorite time. You can take your time with it, Yeah,
it's
so
nice.
I went into that session yesterday thinking like, oh, this is going to be wank. This is. But everything just felt so stable.
That's so nice. I love it. Yeah. You know as well from the get-go, don't you, when it's like going to feel good.
Yeah.
Nice feeling.
Like depth was there as well. And hack for me is something that I've only recently added in. Like I never used to use it before. 4 weeks before lockdown, that's when it was like added into the rotation, because I need just moved gyms. So I hadn't had a hack before, so yeah, just added it in. And for me, it's such a hard movement to get. It sounds so,
I think because you're very long as well. Like when you've got long legs, like hack's pretty hard.
But yeah, it just felt really good. So that was really nice. Train push this morning as well. That felt really strong as well. And I felt, I tried to pose push today, and I felt like I physically couldn't. I felt like that pump. Yeah. So yeah, very good week overall training.
How have you actually like felt kind of like going back into the gym, like in general? Like, have you felt like anxious being around people? Or has it been weird, like being in the gym and there actually being like people around you and stuff, whereas you've been used to kind of like being on your own?
Yeah, definitely. I think I remember the first session back, I literally said to so many people, like, oh, I can't just wait to be around people, like the energy. I did not speak to a single person.
Oh, tell me about it. I can't speak to people in the gym. Like, I know it sounds really horrible, but at the end of the day, we train, like it's a selfish thing that we do, and you have to be selfish with your training. Like if I'm in the gym, especially when we've not seen people in ages, like I do want to say hi to people, like at the start, like before I'm training, not afterwards.
Yeah.
But I can't talk.
Not midway.
No way.
Well, that's like when I came up on Friday, you were like, kind of what time? And I was like, well, yeah, you can come before or after, but I knew.
Well, even when I got there, I didn't come over to you.
Yeah.
I just let you be.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
bother.
But
I didn't know that you were like that though. And I was just sitting there thinking, if she turns up halfway, she's going to think I'm so fucking rude, but no. I'm not going to speak to her.
Well, I'm having a nightmare at the moment because I can't remember if I told you this, but I normally always wear Beats when I train.
Right. No.
I wear Beats because when I have the headphones on, even if there's no music on, people know, like,
don't talk to me.
And I can kind of like, even if someone likes coming over to me, I'll just look away and they'll like think I'm not listening. But I I threw a bit of I don't do this because I don't do this often, but
You threw a tantrum.
Yeah, after I did like a press the other day, I got really pissed off, and I remember at the end AJ just went too heavy, and I took the beats off and I threw them on the floor and I snapped them. So now
I definitely won't mess with you pressing 24s or 26s and with that anger as well. Jesus Christ.
But
I guess they're not as big for people to see the fuck off sign.
No, just wear a t-shirt that says fuck off, I'm training.
Yeah, perfect. And like, to be honest, like, yeah, I went in thinking that I may speak to like quite a few people. I spoke to the guy on the desk and that was it.
Hi.
But I have had to, again, you know, when you feel like you don't want to sound like a knob when it comes to training, but my issue really has been this week. I've had 3 or 4 people message me being like, hey, sick, we're back in the gyms, like, let's get a session in. And I've had to be like, I'm really sorry. I don't hope this doesn't come across as rude, but I'm very picky with who I train with.
Yeah. Because say that though.
So, well, this is the thing. Like, I know people that'll be like, well, I don't want to train with them, so I'm just going to say I'm busy, but I'm not like that. Like, I'll just be completely honest. And I just said, like, at the end of the day, I'm very picky with who I'm training with at the minute. Like, for me, every session really fucking counts.
It does.
And I really like it like that. Like, yes, it may sound pathetic. Yes, it may sound like so dramatic, but if that's how I like it, then that's how I like it, you know? So I've just kind of said, I hope you understand, but I'd love to go for like a walk and a coffee. That's cool with me. But some people have responded back with like, yeah, completely understand. That's absolutely fine. And then other people have just like thought that I'm some rude bellend.
Well, the thing is, the people that get it will get it, and that's all that really matters. But I've had this conversation with quite a few people this week, because obviously everyone's asking everyone to train, and speaking to like some people that train at the gym have just been saying, you know, I've had to say to people at the end of the day, I'm sorry, but I'm going to be selfish and my training is important to me, so I can't train with you, and that's it.
Well, like, how long have we been waiting for gyms to open? Like, I don't want to have like, obviously this week has been a little bit different because I have trained with 2 people, but they were people that I really, really enjoy training with. So yeah, I definitely feel a little more self-conscious as well, because of having that extra weight. I don't know about you.
This is definitely something I was going to ask you.
Yeah, so that first session back, when I felt like the session was shit, I tried to pose after, because I try and make myself pose after every session.
Yeah.
And even my posing, I was looking at it like, whoa, like not enjoying this. And I left in a bit of a paddy. And then message Cuba having a paddy. So that has been a little bit different, but I've kind of almost forced myself to just go in, get shit done, wearing what I would normally wear.
Yeah, we had this discussion, didn't we? Because I personally, like, it's really hard, because I always say, you know, you should still feel comfortable wearing whatever you want to wear. So like, if you want to wear like a sports bra and shorts, like wear a sports bra and shorts. Like, who gives a fuck what you look like? You're there to train, enjoy yourself. But at the moment, I can't do it. I think at the end of the day, I don't really want to train in that. If I wanted to train in it, I would. But even if I was lean, I think I'm comfortable. I like to train in baggy clothes, but I don't like to see my body when I train, like, at all. Like, even if I was lean, I don't think I'd want to see it, because it throws me off. So
I guess it's not the purpose for that amount of time, is it?
No, and because some people can obviously see themselves when they train, they just won't think anything about it. But I know that if I saw myself when I trained, I'd suddenly start thinking negative thoughts or something like that. And I just don't have time for that. And that's not why I'm there to train. So I'd rather just stick baggy top on, like hoodie, leggings, don't want to look at myself there to train. That's it. And that's how I find it's easier. because I can't be bothered to deal with it, to be honest. But I got so hot yesterday, because this is the only thing, like when you're in off season, like I want to wear baggy clothes, but it's so hot.
Thank you. Like that is my issue. Like I can't deal with being hot.
Yeah.
I really can't. I would walk around the house naked. 24/7.
Honestly,
like it's too.
Your post all right.
Mate, I've got French doors here. I'm just like some kids running past. Oh yeah.
Oh God.
You're lucky I got clothes on for this.
I actually took my top off yesterday and like trained in a sports bra. Like fair enough, I've dropped like 7 pounds or something over the past 2 weeks, so I do feel a bit better. But I took my top off for like one exercise, but that was a win for me.
Progress. I was Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Little wins. See, for me, because of videoing all our exercises for form, because my form honestly used to be so trash. Yeah, I've had to get used to obviously training in a sports bra so that you can see what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, you can't see it otherwise.
You can't see any, and I can't really train in a hoodie unless it is really cold, because honestly, as soon as I get hot, it takes over. Like in my set,
my head's going to explode.
Yeah, exactly. And I've got this thing as well. Like I have to. People are going to think we're so weird, but I have this thing where I have to wear certain clothes for certain exercises or sessions. Yeah. Like, so my legs, I can't really wear leggings, because
you can't wear legs.
If I'm training legs, there's certain leggings that I can, but not all of them. Yeah. And obviously if they're in the wash, like then I can't wear them. Yeah. So like for me, I always wear shorts when I'm training legs, because there's no restriction. Like I just feel like there's some leggings. Yeah, there's some leggings that I've got that I just feel like I'll be one exercise in and I can't fucking breathe. I'm like,
I agree. I literally have, what I do now is I have like 3 or 4 different outfits. Because this is something that I've mastered as well. I can't, otherwise I'll spend so long like before I go to the gym, like getting changed and putting something different on because I don't feel comfortable. I don't have time to do that. So I have like 4 different outfits. I have different ones that I'll wear for push, pull and legs, because I can't do push in my leggings. I can't. So I have certain things that I have to wear. And I literally just wash them and then rewear them.
Yeah. So I can't, for example, say on pull days, there's like, it's silly for me if I wear shorts, because if I'm doing an RDL or something like that, then I'm going to be scraping all up my leg. I'm going to get stuck on my fucking thighs. I'm like, nah, has to be leggings. Yeah. So, yeah.
But I really like training in joggers though, as well. And because obviously like the more baggy the clothes, the better. But it's too hot now and I'm just it really annoys me.
Just going to have to get a new rotation, mate.
Maybe I'll get some breathable joggers.
Yeah. Now Primark's open. Hit the men's section in Primark. Be sorted.
Yeah.
But like obviously, a lot of people I think have been feeling very similar to like all those fucking emotions. Like I even put up on the Tuesday how I felt about that first session. Yeah. Because I wasn't going to, because I was just like annoyed at myself, and I was like, Hannah, just get the fuck over it. We move, like carry on, like just pretend it didn't happen. But when I did speak about it, so many people messaged me saying they felt exactly the same. Because at the end of the day, like people's sessions throughout lockdown have been extremely different. Some people have had access to equipment the whole time. Some people have literally been like, you know what, I'm just taking the whole thing as a break. Yeah. And so it has been wildly different. But I mean, I'm going to sound like a knob, but the real tea to see is the fact that some people have had access to equipment this whole time, yet they look the fucking same. Sorry, but it's true.
That is brutal.
I'm sorry, but it's true. Like they've obviously got so complacent with the fact that they had all this equipment, that the fact that other people didn't have the equipment, and they've gone into the sessions half-assed, And they either look the same or they haven't progressed in their lifts. And I'm like, well, what have you been doing for 4 months? Why haven't you been going into that session thinking, I'm so grateful that I have this equipment, so I'm going to make the most of it? Because that's what I did even in my bedroom. Oh my God, I'm so small.
Shut up. People get complacent though, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ripping into people here, left, right, and centre.
There's only like a handful, like a sprinkle full.
Just a bit of truth. Oh no. Yeah, but how did you actually feel like going into Ultraflex on its own? Because I know a lot of people say they like feel a bit intimidated, like going into an Ultraflex and stuff. And we even had this conversation like ages ago. Like it was one of the first things we spoke about when obviously when I used to train with Meg like full time. I remember you were like
full time.
Full time. When we were full-time training planners. But I remember you said, like, does it not make you feel like insecure or like your father?
Like, does it not make you shit yourself? Like,
yeah.
Yeah. Walking in, to be fair, I've been to Ultraflex now a couple of times.
Yeah.
And still every single time I literally walk in, head down, go to changing rooms. And I'm just like, go, because it is still quite overwhelming. Like there is still, I don't really know how to say it, because obviously Instagram isn't everything, right? But there are people there that I've always looked up to, you know? So seeing them can be like, a bit overwhelming, like a bit like
you forget that they're just like normal people as well sometimes when you're so used to seeing them. And then you're like, oh, they're just someone else.
They're just
well, you know, it's not a big thing.
No, it's not. But yeah, I do really like Ultraflex, because even though that first initial feeling of like, I think it's gonna be a bit of gym anxiety because it's a different gym anyway, because it's just again out of your routine. But it's such good equipment that, and obviously the posing room's sick. Like it's just one of those things that you just have to get over, don't you? Just head down, walk in, get changed, and then like talk yourself around, being like, stop being a fucking twat.
I think you also have to appreciate it for what it is. So like, yes, in some ways it's an intimidating environment, but appreciate that and allow that to be something that pushes you to be better.
I was actually
other people, and allow that to like be something that you can learn from and develop yourself with. And it made a massive difference to me, because I moved there. So I basically when I was going to uni, I picked my uni based on the fact that I wanted to train at Ultraflex. Okay. So because I was like, I need to train at Ultraflex, can't go anywhere else. And it leveled me up like so much, like just training in an environment like that. And sometimes it's like force yourself. Like I literally look back at like some of my form clips when I first trained there, and it's embarrassing. Like oh my God, if I saw myself in Ultraflex now, like doing like the stuff that I was doing, I'd literally just cringe and embarrassment. but like being in that environment is what's like,
it pushes you
where I'm at now. So
100%. I was talking to someone the other day, and they were basically saying like, oh, I'm gonna train in pure gym. But I was like, honestly, I've got nothing against commercial gyms, because I did my whole first prep in a commercial gym. Like until
final gym, you know.
Like there is, as long as you do have access to some form of equipment, you make do, right? But the difference between, so you can still progress in a commercial gym, but the difference between changing from a commercial gym to kind of something like Foundry or Ultraflex, etc., is you then go from being a big fish in a little pond to being fucking Finding Nemo in the big sea, right? So that then, like you said, it just it forces you to level up. So why would you not take that opportunity? Like being like being smaller, it then means that you've got so much room to progress.
Like you want to feel comfortable, but at the same time you have to ask yourself if you're limiting yourself. And if you really want to progress like the amount that you say you want to progress, then you'll do whatever it kind of takes, or whatever you need to do, or feel as uncomfortable as you need to get to that point, in my opinion.
Exactly. Yeah, completely agree. So just to be honest, if anyone is feeling any kind of emotions like that, any gym anxiety, like I know some people have actually left it this week and not gone back to the gyms.
Yeah. It was a lot quieter than I thought, thought it was going to be so busy, and it was like, it wasn't that bad.
For our gym, I'm not joking, Monday, Tuesday, there was like cars queuing.
No way.
Yeah. So I parked like down the road and just like walked there instead, because why not, steps? So yeah, I just did that, and it was absolutely fine. Then Wednesday I turn up and I'm like, oh, you all had enough then? Yeah. A rest day for all of you. Okay. Yeah, so it has quietened down quite a bit, but in a nice way though. I'm not saying that. I think everyone should take the opportunity to now make the most of that opportunity now that we do have them back. But obviously it can be a little bit too much. Like that in itself is a bit overwhelming. There's so many people there. You kind of, they're like, oh, even more pressure, even more eyes on you.
Yeah.
But definitely died down a bit now, and I think it'll just feel like normal. I almost feel like lockdown didn't even happen.
Yeah, you just adjust to it so quickly though, don't you? It's crazy.
Yeah, just slide back in.
Yeah. Shall we answer some questions? I think we've got
I think we should. I have a few, but I think...
Do you want to go through yours first?
To be honest, 2 of yours were exactly the same as mine. So we could just do yours first, and then if I've got any extras to add, we'll go from there.
I actually need to find them first.
Okay, well, one of mine, which I know is yours, was who inspires you within normal bodybuilding, but also natural bodybuilding?
Oh. There's quite a lot.
There you go.
Reasons though, isn't there?
Yeah, so I mean, we'll just back and forwards. So for me, when I say someone inspires me, I would never look at someone's physique and be like, that is what I want to look like, because that is not possible. It's not possible. You could do,
to be honest.
Yeah, like so many people will do that and they think that's the norm, but it's actually really detrimental to your progress, in my opinion, because you're looking at someone and being like, well, right, so I could even train exactly like them, I'm going to eat exactly like them. Regardless, you could do the whole thing exactly like them, you are never going to look like them, because you have your strengths, they have their strengths, they have their weaknesses, you have your own weaknesses. So you have to really stop aspiring to like look like someone.
Yeah.
But for me, when I talk about someone that inspires me, I definitely talk about either their training, their attitude, their knowledge, their mindset. Even like I will have quite a few people that inspire me that may not even train like a bodybuilder. They'll be, I don't know, just training because they like to train, but their mindset towards it, their passion, it's that's for me, that's where I'll be inspired by someone.
Let's have some names.
Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna say kind of like the ones that people are probably going to expect, but in all honesty, that is just how it is. Like for me, like Rhea and Meg have always been people that I've looked up to. Like Rhea, like obviously she's an Olympian, so I'm never gonna get there. So again, I'm not looking at Rhea thinking that I'm going to look like that, but her attitude to just constantly trying to better herself, and always striving to be better. Like I absolutely adore that about her. Like, and she's such a beautiful soul as well. And yeah, like even her little catchphrase, like no more fear, no more doubt. Like how many people does that resonate with?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, to be honest.
Yeah, so definitely Rhea and Meg. Meg just is a fucking workhorse. Like,
yeah, I just have to say, like, she's
blows my mind.
She's obviously like my best friend, but she's also like one of my biggest like inspirations just in like, obviously she's helped me massively with my training and everything, but the way that she's helped me like develop my mindset and the way that I approach bodybuilding, she's been like a life coach to me as well. But
Took you under a wing.
Yeah, I look up to her massively in that sense.
Yeah, but when you say like she's one of your best friends, like that's not a bad thing in the slightest. Like that's how it should be. Like even I look to Caitlin, and Caitlin massively inspires
I love
me.
Caitlin.
Yeah,
I could talk
like
about Caitlin for so long.
Yeah, she's incredible. Like, some people will always say like, oh yeah, she's a genetic freak, whatever. No, she fucking works, man. Like,
Oh my
she
God,
works
honestly.
so hard. And what's so nice is we just do have that similar mindset, like about so many things though. Like we'll be talking about fucking, I don't know, men, you know, and we'll just be and yeah, we'll just be discussing that and having a very similar mindset. So
I love whenever Caitlin's around, you know, because I always get her to film my sets. I don't know if you've listened to it, but when I did my hack set on my Instagram, like if you've not watched it, go and watch it and put the sound on, because Caitlin's filming it, and every time she films my set, you just hear her in the back. She's like, "Oh yeah, come on," you hear it, and I absolutely love it.
There was one, I think my first ever time I trained at Ultraflex, she like ran over. I was like on a leg press mid set. She like ran over. She was like, "Keep going." I was like, "What the fuck?" Please.
I love her. She's amazing.
But yeah, obviously, I would even say Cuba's a massive inspiration to me, just because of how much he has taught me. Like I will always say, like, I constantly feel like I'm learning, and that for me is a massive passion anyway. So yeah, and I just really appreciate how much he does care about his clients.
He gives a lot, like a lot.
Yeah, and that in itself is just so inspiring. Like, I don't want to be someone that's going to have like loads of clients and things like that. That's not where I want to go. But for me, any clients that I do have, or people that I help along the way, I want to provide as much information as possible. Like, he's not someone I've turned around to him before and said, "Oh, I'm actually a little bit hungry. Can we do this instead of this?" And instead of being like, no, just stick to the plan, he'll literally explain exactly why I'm eating what I'm eating, or exactly why I'll be doing the exercises, the amount of sets. Like, I sent him my exercises from this morning, and I've literally got 6 messages from him now, and a voice note, which will be going through all my form from every single exercise. Like, that in itself is just so, he's just such a good person. So I really appreciate him, you know. But I guess, what about you? In natural bodybuilding, the first person that I looked towards for natural bodybuilding was Steph Noble.
Oh yeah, good.
Yeah, because that was the first woman.
Yeah, me too, to be honest.
In natural bodybuilding. So, and she does have like that kind of go-to figure shape, you know, like she still looks so feminine. She's got like a really nice shape. So I love that.
You know who the first natty bodybuilder was that I followed?
Was it AJ?
No, it was Thorburn.
Was it?
I always say this to AJ. The only reason I found AJ on Instagram was through following Thorburn, and then George.
I'm actually so late to the party there, you know, because I only found Thorburn a couple of months ago.
What?
I know.
Ella, following Thorburn, like, seriously.
Ella and Caitlin used to like say something like, I don't know, have you seen this or that? And I'll be like, no, who's that?
Missing out.
I know. Now I'm hooked. Full burn. No, I'm
Obviously.
hooked.
He created like my problem with like oats and stuff, because I used to always watch him put these videos on like how to make oats, and he'd like put them in the microwave, he'd like put them in for 30 seconds, take them out, stir them, and that like this was like me like years ago. I used to sit there with my oats for hours like watching his oat recipe. Like
and now it's cream of rice.
yeah.
Oh no, that's cute though.
Yeah, but obviously like AJ has been like a big inspiration, and like as much as like he's obviously like my boyfriend and everything, he's been a huge inspiration with me for bodybuilding, because I do see him like separately as my coach, and he's like leveled me up massively when it comes to everything like that. And I didn't know like as much as I did know about natural bodybuilding without him, to be honest.
Yeah
So
for
I'm
me
hugely grateful for that.
Yeah, so obviously I found kind of Cuba and AJ around like the same time, a couple of years ago now. How weird.
That's mad.
It is weird, isn't it? But yeah, and I just really appreciated how hard that he trained. And obviously the past couple of months as well, I'd found Keefe, and the fact that he just completely obliterates absolutely everything. He just chases it. He just goes, his mindset is incredible. Like he just goes for it, you know. But you know what?
No limits. He has no limits on what he can achieve, and I absolutely love that. Like there's no self-doubt. There's no nothing. He's just like, yeah, I'm going to do this today.
Yeah,
you know,
I can't wait.
I saw him in the gym yesterday, pressing. He was pressing 50.
I swear he was pressing
like he got them for like something stupid, and I was just watching him. They literally looks like 10-kilo dumbbells.
Chilling.
You know, when you see someone do something in the gym and you just look and you're like, that's not real.
Yeah, well, I saw him Friday, and I actually thought that I've told him this, so he's not gonna like be not even gonna listen. But I saw him and I was like, I thought he was gonna be smaller. Like I thought,
no, he's so big.
I thought, you know, on Insta,
crazy.
Yeah, I thought, you know, on Insta people look different. You know, people actually say to me that I look better in real life, like as in.
That's good. Well, the thing that I get is that people come up to me, they see me in real life, and go, "You're so small." Because I'm.
Yeah, but I get you're so tall. Like every time.
I don't like the word small. You can be like, yeah, small, but you're big.
You're still big, mate. You're still big. But yeah, anyway, I saw it, and I was expecting him to be like smaller. And by that, I do actually mean height as well. Like I was expecting him to be small and like, and I was literally like, how the fuck have you fit through the door? But okay. But yeah, you know what does upset me a little bit though about this conversation is the fact that we are just discussing men.
Yeah.
But like on a level, like there aren't many women natural bodybuilders out there.
No, there aren't. Not that are like given the profiles that they deserve to have, in my opinion.
And their platform,
yeah,
exactly.
So, yeah.
But with regards to training,
so
the what?
I said that's something that we're trying to fix.
Yeah, exactly.
We're trying to give a platform. What did you think I said?
I don't know. We're just training for athletics. Okay.
I'm not training for athletics. No. I'm not doing this sprint anytime soon.
I'll do the roly poly. I'll be the egg and spoon. Oh god. No, but in terms of training inspiration as well, like there's a lot of people. I only follow people that I will watch their training and I just feel fired up.
Oh yeah.
So I really appreciate Grace and Ali.
Yeah.
Like I'll always watch their training and I'll be like, yes, get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say that those people, that was quite
great.
A long answer there.
Should we do like one more question or something?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got one. So what would our advice be for a beginner female who's starting out, trying to build muscle, trying to get into bodybuilding, but they're struggling to stay motivated because it is such a slow process? Like, I really, really resonate with this, because I probably trained for like 3 years before I really started to see any difference in how I looked.
Yeah.
Really, like, as a female, like, you're not gonna, unless you're really, really responsive to training. Like, some females might be like really, really responsive to training, but not everyone's going to be. So it does take a long time. And I remember just feeling like really crappy about myself, because like my natural like genetics in terms of my body composition and the ability that I have to put on muscle aren't great. So like growing up, no, I'm serious. Like growing up.
No, I know. I was just about to say, so
growing up, like I used to get so pissed off. at school when like every day I'd come in, I had my Tupperware boxes for all my meals. I went to the gym. I never went out clubbing with my friends because I couldn't. I never went to parties because all I cared about was going to the gym. And I was like, I looked average, and I had friends who did nothing and they looked insane.
Yeah.
They did nothing. They didn't train. They didn't do anything. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So, but the thing was, I really stuck with it. And it's a hard thing to say. It's an easy thing to say in a way, because you just say, oh, you've just got to be patient. But I literally drilled it into my head every day. I'd sit there eating my food and having people stare at me. And I'd just think to myself, I was like, one day, it's going to pay off.
And look at you now.
Yeah, I'm glad that I did, because I'm at that point. Like, it's now like 4 years like that I've been training, and 4 or 5 years nearly, and I'm starting to kind of see some results, but it just takes time. Like, you've got to really care and you've got to really love it.
See this. So the one thing that I was going to like interject with, so when I did meet up with Cuba and on Friday, and we were talking about like cutting prep down by a few weeks, he was like, look, Hannah, we don't struggle to lose weight. Like with you, we don't struggle with that. You know, we only struggle to put on muscle. I was like,
off.
I was like, yeah. But it is true, you know. At the end of the day, for me, which again, we're going to do a whole other podcast on like our backstories, but I have always been an active child. Like, I've done so many different things. But you do have to just find that thing that you are in love with. Like, there's been, I think Hannah Wares put a post about this yesterday, and she said something about like, you have to find the sport that almost like chooses you. I see way too many people that are going into bodybuilding or that kind of lifestyle, and they're forcing themselves to do it. Don't get me wrong, there is an element where you have to force yourself to have that discipline to get yourself to do these XYZ, right? You know, cardio, steps, food, like that's not like, oh yeah, I'll just do that. Like, there is that level of discipline about it, behind it.
It's discipline though, but it's not forceful.
At the end of the day, it's all your choice. So if you are going into every single session in the gym and you aren't enjoying it, stop.
Yeah, what are you doing?
So find, like, if you are struggling to keep going along this fitness journey, find something you enjoy.
Yeah.
Like, I know so many people that they've just started going into CrossFit, for example, or like even powerlifting, or even nothing to do with weights. I mean, there are so many benefits behind weights, like there really are. But that's not the only thing that you need to do. So I think if you are really struggling and you've genuinely been trying, and you've genuinely been sticking to it,
and it's making you miserable as well.
Yeah. Like, you just need to be doing something that you enjoy, like however that may be.
If you do something you really love, you don't really care about the rewards either. So like the reason why I was so persistent with it was because I also loved it anyway. So I was going to train, and I was going to eat my food, and I was going to be disciplined anyway, because I love doing that day in, day out, regardless of how it makes me look. Obviously, I love the fact that I'm able to like bodybuild and work on building muscle, but
and now you're like, yo,
yeah, but that's what I look like. But but it's the day in, day out that you love, and that's why I do it. So
because then it's like your job. Like I've always said to people, I almost can't be around people that will sit there and moan about their job. If you don't like your job, change it, leave, go get a different one. I just don't, it does not comprehend within my brain if you're doing something that you don't enjoy.
Because we all actually choose to do everything. Like as much
absolutely
as people,
everything.
As much as people like to think, oh, but I have to do this job, or I have to do this because I don't have a choice. You have a choice.
You have the choice.
You have complete control over your life. And like that's when you really start to realize that you can do whatever you want with your life, and you start to really live your life. When you genuinely understand you have control over everything.
Yeah. I mean, we have gone on a slight tangent there, but
we get really like into the topic and then we just go off on. But
yeah, but honestly, so if you are struggling to kind of stick at the beginning of your journey, just think about that end goal. And if that end goal really is important to you, it almost won't be difficult to stick at it because you'll just be so focused on that goal.
Yeah.
Like these short-term sacrifices are so worth it. And yeah, unfortunately, it does take time.
Yeah.
But it is worth it. And like if you are looking up to kind of the right people, the people that are being honest about their journey as well, not the people that are showing that every single day, every single session is sick. Like that isn't the case for anyone. Not every single session is sick. Not every single day. Like one of the questions that I did get, but we may have to do it another time.
Yeah.
because was like, how do you remain so positive? At the end of the day, I am bringing down the tone ever so slightly. But at the end of the day, 150,000 people die a day.
Mm-hmm.
So you should be literally so grateful with the fact that you are able to wake up and have that day for yourself. So you've got to make sure that whatever you are doing with that day, you are making the most of it, because 150,000 people aren't actually able to get that day.
And you have the ability to make the most of every day and make every day positive. It's a skill, but it's something that you are able to do. So yeah, I think that's actually a really nice note to leave it on. We've left a nice little message.
Make your day yours.
Yeah. But we've rambled on for a relatively long time, but we just want to say as well, thank you so much for like the feedback that everyone's
oh my god
the first episode, and for everyone that's listened. Like it really does mean so much to us, and I think we're just so excited that we're actually able to kind of like give something to people that people can listen to, and hopefully we can build like a good platform out of this for other female bodybuilders and just for people to listen to. So yeah, thank you so much to everyone who has listened and everyone who's tuned in this week. It's been pretty epic, to be honest.
It's been amazing, absolutely amazing, like the feedback that we have been getting. We do have some amazing guests lined up as well, so that's something to look forward to. But yeah, keep liking, keep sharing.
Yeah, so we should have a guest on. I think next week we'll get a guest, won't we? Yeah.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, thank you so much to everyone who has listened today, and we will be back next week.